Good afternoon, my subscriber. That's right, you, my subscriber. Crafty Sky Lady coming at ya. Maureen Sky. If you're new here, welcome. I'm here to do another video. Today I'm sitting in my car in one of my favorite little lunch places I used to come to a lot because I worked over at the high school, which isn't far from here, and I'm in front of a famous, popular ball field. Matter of fact, my grandson played here. I think my son did once or twice as a kid. Anyway, a lot of memories. But anyway, I thought it would be quiet and I could, I stopped at the nearby McDonald's, which isn't far from here, and got myself some fries and an iced tea, and I have some sandwiches to bring home to me and Eddie. But I know it's not polite to eat in front of you, but just a bite or two. With diabetes, I gotta be careful. So anyway, storyteller that I am, my topic today is the stupid stuff we do as young teens, teenagers, just to be funny, ha-has with our friends. And it's innocent fun. I get it. We were kids once. I was a kid once. I remember doing stupid stuff. You know, I can remember the fairs taking place, our Franklin County Fair. It's taking place. Sorry about that. And right now, and it brings back memories of being a teen and climbing the fence, us girls, to get into the fair free, way down in the back. There's homes along the sides, and a lot of kids would do it, and we did it. And who got their pants caught on the fence and ripped them up? New pants? Yeah, me. You're looking at her. But anyway, I was never very agile. And I was never a tumbler or anything like that. Nope, not me. But I remember doing those things, and I remember at the fair, once we got in and ripped our pants and this and that, my sister, a bunch of us girls, there's about 4 or 5 of us, and we're standing at the teddy bear booth, a stuffed animal booth, and you know what kind of sorry guys, people work at those booths, and you can just imagine bottom of the barrel, some of them. And this particular day there was one of those, and a guy, and my sister, I believe it was her, grabbed a teddy bear that was hanging and ran with it. And the other girls ran. Well, I didn't quite know what was going on, and a lot of people around, at the fair. And what do? This person grabs me as, what's the word we want? Collateral. And, wouldn't let go of me. It scared the bejesus out of me. I'm not kidding, but that was frightening. And he did that, held on to me for a number of minutes till they figured out I wasn't with him. And I'm screaming, and they finally come back, and she gives up the teddy bear. But this went on for a good 20 minutes or more. Oh, yeah. And how frightening is that? But it just goes to show, be careful what you do. And it was different. It was a different world, obviously. We know this back then. Anyone who's my age, and I'm 72 now, like I talk about, knows what a different world it was. And you could do things and get away with that. I can remember the phone call pranks. Us girls would all get together at night in our bedroom and sleepovers or whatever. And for ha-has, we'd get the phone book out, and we'd get the phone, and back then it was the old Bakelite, you could knock someone's head off with the darn thing. It was so heavy, and the long cord, and you had to dial up the number. And I remember calling we would call, I remember my girlfriend on the phone call, we called a little old lady, and we told her we were the local Frigidaire appliance place. Oh, I gotta hang now. Oh, I hate these darn things. And, oh, you gotta do it fast, too, because they'll... Ugh. And, the lady believed us. My girlfriend had, a kind, gentle voice, everything. And, well, I don't know. We asked her if her Frigidaire was running good, and, well, I guess it's running. And she let me check, and she checked and came back, and, oh, yes, it's running just fine. Thank you for calling. And then, of course, you say, well, you better go catch it, and things like that. I mean, corny. I can remember we called the local bowling alley guy, and he's looking for somebody. The local bowling alley guy, because there's a bowling alley not far from here, and asked him, what size balls they have, and blah, blah, blah. And the guy goes on to talk about how they got candle pin and the big ones and the different weights, and, and then, of course, just before you hang up, you tell him, well, I just have another question for you. How do you pull your pants up? Stupid stuff like that. Then we go, hang up. I mean, we did that stuff. And one of the worst things I remember we did was this time of year, or, more summer, June, July, early evenings, dark out, and we'd have our bathing suits on under our clothes. Or even without bathing suits, we'd find people with in-ground back pools, and we'd go in them. And swim around and try to be quiet, but we're giggling a little bit and this and that, and then once the people turned their lights on and heard you, you scampered out of there. Well, somebody did call the police. The police were looking for us one night, and it was frightening. And we were running around the neighborhood way over, 2 or 3 streets over. Oh yeah, this was my own stomping grounds here. But anyway, but again, innocent fun, just to look back and go, oh, haha, yeah, we did that, yeah. But it was innocent fun. We didn't really hurt anybody or trying to hurt anybody. And I don't know, the kids aren't today either. But what's happening is we live in a much more delicate, fragile environment, and people are more paranoid. People are more aware of crime going on, so they're more it is more problematic. The people have grown, that the population's more full, and more widespread areas are more populated, so you're going to get more crime, and we see that on the news. And so what happens just recently, as you know, if you watch the news, the evening news, at least on our end, I heard that this young boy, I think he was, 11 or 13, somewhere in that range, just right around my granddaughter's age, got shot and killed because he and his friends, early evening, ringing the doorbell, and then just scampering away. What do they call it? Doorbell hoax, and some man had a gun and came out and shot him to death. People, that's so sad on so many levels. It's sad for the homeowner who's just trying to protect themselves in their home, and living in this paranoid world we live in. And people own guns, and I don't know, I have a different stance on how I feel about guns lately, trying to be a little more open-minded, but still not 100% in favor of them, but I'm not totally 100% against them either. So it's a hard one, people. And then you've got that going on where you're hearing, oh my God, I mean, we got to talk to our kids and tell them you can't be doing that. You cannot be, even though yes, it's innocent fun, you're not really hurting anyone. Just, trying to do something silly with your friends. But in today's society, in this country, and maybe other countries too, I don't know, you can't be doing that. Scratch that one. Go, get a board game out and pop a bag of popcorn and have fun that way. I don't know. Play charades or something, but you can't be doing that. And it's sad. It's sad in a way because, like I said, I do remember back to just being that kid where you're in that playful age of wanting to be funny, be the funny one, or get with your friends and do corny things and laugh about it later. I'm gonna eat a couple more fries. Yeah, sad. I hope you don't mind me eating. It's time to get home and take my meds and stuff. Lunchtime or a little after. So, lucky me, went for a mammogram today. Oh yeah. But it didn't take that long, thank the good Lord. Trying to stay on top of all my appointments that I need. Yeah. Beautiful day here. Oh my gosh, really nice. Went to Abishans, not far from here at all. Right over there, actually. And my goal is to purchase that toilet seat that we need. And I took pictures and I took measurements. However, I see a sign in there. It's $31.99, and I need an oval shaped one. Okay. Well, I see a sign that says no returns. So before I spend the $31.99, I want to make absolutely sure I'm buying one that we can use. I don't want another thing I gotta try to sell or can't use. So I'm gonna measure one more time just to be sure. Come back tomorrow, Saturday. I love McDonald's fries. I know they're not the best for us, but I haven't had any for a while, so it's kind of a treat. A nice cold iced tea, love it. Very refreshing. Okay, well, yeah. What's your take on it, folks? Let me know in the comments. Your take on, how you feel about people owning guns, and how you feel about, what I talked about, talking to our kids more about these things. Yeah. And what we hear and see in the news these days, My gosh. Oh. And, the devastating things that have happened in the last couple months. I mean, the horrific Texas, the camp thing with all those young girls. Oh, my heart goes out to them like you would not believe. Woza. I can't even fathom sending your kid off to camp and then they're not coming home ever again. Yeah, wow. God bless all of those families. God be with them. And any tragedy, the school things that are going on. I mean, I can't even go there I'll just sit here and cry a bazillion tears on you. But my heart is with each and every person that is affected and has been affected over the years. You know, starting off with the whole Sandy Hook one. Remember that one? Those beautiful children, like were angels. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, we gotta do something, folks. We've got to put more standards on things and more stricter rules in place, and come up with budgets where there's more safety. Oh yeah, we've got to. Yeah. I can't even imagine. And my daughter and my granddaughter just moved to Florida. She's going to a bigger school, I'm sure. And things are going well, I believe. That's the plan here. And she's settled into a nice routine. I can only hope, that everything's kosher there in that regard. Oh, yeah. And it is, I'm just saying, as grandparents, parents and grandparents, you just want the best for everyone, and you want to feel and know and hope that, everybody is good and okay and mentally sound, and then our life evolves around happiness and joy and prosperity and all that good stuff, and not have to worry yourself sick over, who's living in the neighborhood and, what kind of a mindset they're in today. And, what did a lot with that was the Proposition 2.5, I believe, way back. When was that? The 70s, 80s? But when, 80s, maybe 90s? Well, when, I'll have to look that up, but when Proposition 2.5, where they closed all these institutions due to, again, money and budget cuts, and left it up more to the states to figure out, and even our prisons are everything problematic. There's so much that's problematic, and we could go on and on. That's for another video. But yeah, just, just pray to the good Lord above that the universe provides in a good and positive way each and every day, right? Right? Yeah. That's my hope. That's my quest. That's my mindset for each and every day is, talk to your kids about, ooh, what is that? Get out of there. About being safe, and, even though they're thinking of funny, cranky things to do, it might not be such a good idea today, folks. Talk to them. Talk to your kids. Keep the communication going. Know where they're at. Know what they're doing. Know who they're hanging with. And know what they've got up their sleeve. We're trying to be one step ahead of them, which isn't always easy. But we got to today. Yeah. Well, this has been fun. I got to get this sandwich home to Eddie, and I'll be coming back out tomorrow. Now, I've got an idea for a really good, and I'm thinking a short. YouTube wants us to do so many shorts in our little portfolio, let's say, of videos. So I got to do another short, and I'm preparing for it. We'll see if I can get it going. See if I can get that on my to-do list and manifest that, but it's on the back burner, let's just say. So, been real, been fun, love ya, and like I said, if you're new here, thank you for joining me, and I hope I've given you enough good content to think about hitting that subscribe button. That would be great. Yeah, and until we meet again, I certainly hope the universe provides. I truly do now. Thank you. Bye-bye.